All right, everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a quick little thing because it's that time again where I'm going on vacation for a couple days, just a weekend trip, tickets to the PGA Championship down in Louisville, Kentucky at Valhalla Golf Course. And I'm going to go down there for just a couple of nights, and the plan is to stop and maybe go see Churchill Downs and then obviously the golf tournament. And so I just wanted to bring one camera, one lens for travel. It's just going to be kind of documenting, having a little bit of fun. And right now my OM1 and the 20mm 1.4 is out to loan with a friend of mine. And so I'm thinking, you know what, maybe I should give the zoom thing a real try. The zoom thing for me on the Micro Four Thirds platform has always been a bit of a problem because even at f2.8, like depth of field is not fantastic unless you're shooting like those Panasonic Leica 1.7 lenses. But I think I want to give it a try instead of shooting just one prime. And so the two zoom lenses that I have are this Zuiko 12mm to 40mm f2.8. Or the other lens I have is what I'm recording on right now, which came free with the OM5 that's also recording me right now, which is the 14 to 150 f4 to 5.6 zoom lens. And so there's obviously trade-offs here. The 12 to 40 is a pro lens. It's weather sealed, manual focus clutch, better build quality, f2.8, better optics, maybe. And the 14 to 150 has the benefit of being, well, 28 to 300 full frame equivalent, and it's got a lot more reach to it. And I think it's still weather sealed. It's a good lens. You know, on the wider end, 12 to 14, I think makes a pretty big difference, but 440 to 150 makes a huge difference on the long end. So these lenses are very different, but I was curious, and that's what this video is about. Optically, how different are they just for regular shooting? So I took these two lenses and shot my little model. In this case, it's this little dolly that my daughter has and a red bird that's on our porch. And I set these lenses at their most wide open aperture or equivalent at wide open aperture on their focal lengths to kind of see what the differences are. So here, what I mean, at 14 millimeters, I set both lenses to 14 millimeters and I shot them at f4 because that's what the widest aperture on this lens is. And then I set the 25 millimeters, and I think it's 5.3 was the aperture on this lens. And then I set it to 40 millimeters at f5.6, I think it was, on both of these. Now you might be saying to yourself, but Eric, you took the advantage of the 12 to 40 2.8 out because you didn't shoot it at 2.8. You're right, that's true. And I think that is the benefit that I already know. I think we all understand that, is if I can go from 40 millimeters f5.6 to 40 millimeters f2.8, that's where this lens was shine and be a big advantage for sure. But I'm talking more about optical differences, color differences. I want to know, like, am I going to lose a lot in sharpness? Am I going to lose a lot in color rendition and contrast? That's what I want to know. And so I shot these. These are straight out of camera JPEGs with the same settings at the same focal lengths and the same aperture. So this is not necessarily taking advantage of the depth of field slash wider aperture slash more light that can come in on the 2.8 lens, especially as you go to the longer end. This is more just about optical differences because I know that comment's coming in the comment section below. That's not what this is about. So I'm going to show you a few pictures here. The first picture we're going to put up in the screen recording is of this little dolly. This is 14 millimeters f4, I think it was, at right about the same distance. And as you see me zoom in here, it's interesting. They both are very, very sharp. Like you can see plenty of, we'll call it fur detail in our little model here. And the only thing I really notice is the color is a little bit different. The contrast is different, as you can see here, which I thought was very interesting. So this is 14 millimeters. This next shot here is at 25 millimeters. 25 millimeters, I think the aperture is like f5.3. And so I set the same shutter speed, same ISOs, all that stuff. And again, the color red here is different, but still a ton of detail in both pictures, which is kind of surprising to me. And I've heard good things about this 14 to 150, and maybe this is what they're talking about, that it's not an optically terrible lens. The next picture is going to be at 40 millimeters here, and this is at f5.6, I believe it is, or f5. 5.6. And it's the same thing here, a ton of detail in both shots. The colors are, again, a little bit different contrast. But again, maybe is this something you can fix in post? I don't know. But I'm not noticing a massive, massive sharpness difference, which is interesting to me. And so, just for somebody's interested, is my kit lens that came with my OM5 decent? The answer is yes. It's a decent lens for sure. Like I would say, sharpness-wise, not too far off from what this 12 to 40 f2.8 Pro does. The obvious difference in performance here is that this lens is much better built. This lens is better weather sealed. This lens goes to 2.8. So if I were to take that same 40 millimeter shot and shoot it at f2.8, well, you'd get even more fall off and you have more light in, the ISO could be lower, your shutter speeds could be faster, that kind of stuff. But I think for this trip, I'm going to need the versatility of 14 to 150 more than I'll need the 2.8, I think. I say that and I pause because I'm going to Churchill Downs at night and I need the reach and the speed, but I'm not bringing a massive lens. I don't have one. Maybe I bring the 45 1.8, or maybe I bring the 75 1.8 as a second lens. Maybe that's what you do. But anyways, I want to share this with you guys. This is a very quick video. People that are interested in this kind of stuff, this 14 to 150 is not a terrible lens. It's actually a pretty good lens. It's not the fastest lens, and so you got to make sure you have enough available light. And it's not going to be a bokeh monster, but it's pretty sharp, and the colors come out very good. And if you're okay with those two things, you know how to use available light to you, or you know how to use compression or background separation to your advantage, or you can use flash to create that kind of pop, then maybe you should consider this lens and just play with it for a while, because 28 to 300 millimeter equivalent is a pretty big focal range. That's pretty versatile for just walking about shots. And it's actually smaller and lighter than the 12 to 40. I'll put a picture up right here of the two lenses so you can see kind of the size comparison. And it's not big. It actually mates very well with this OM5, or if you have an EM5 Mark III or EM5 Mark II or EM10, whatever, it mates well with that camera in terms of its size and weight and that kind of stuff. So that's it today, guys. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next video. I'll show you some pictures next time from Louisville. See ya.